Today's debate will be between two of my personalities, the pirate straw hat Grant and Jay. The hat will tell you who is addressing the audience. If the hat is on, then you are hearing from Grant, and if the hat is off, then you are hearing from Jay. The debate topic will be, should we give all people on America's southern border a 2-year trial citizenship? Jay will be arguing that we should, and Grant will be arguing that we shouldn't. In this instance, I will let Jay make his initial argument, so without further ado, I will let Jay start with his 1-minute main argument. I think people lined up at the southern border should be allowed a 2-year citizenship automatically to lower the cost of something that we need to do anyway. I hear so many excuses for not letting them in, and I ask myself, what does the country need in the way of proof that these people desperately want to be a part of this country? What these people subjected themselves to is enough for me to know that I want to give these people a chance at being American citizens. They heard that there was a land called America and that this land is a land of opportunity, and they said to themselves that they wanted to be a part of that opportunity. At this point, they were willing to risk death marching a quarter of the way around the world so that they could possibly join something that provides opportunity. You want to sit back and deny people access who have demonstrated that they are willing to risk their very lives to be a part of the country? I say pish posh, this is exactly what I want in an American citizen. I don't want to hear there isn't enough work for them when things like our infrastructure is crumbling. There's plenty of work for all. Grant's 1-minute rebuttal. Oh, need the hat. These people aren't saints that you make them out to be. They have the same problems that you find in all groups as large as we are talking about. Some will be parasites on this country, and some will even be criminals. It is a mistake to assume that they are all motivated by opportunity. Some of these people needed to flee their country for bad reasons, and some fled their country because they couldn't compete in their current environment. What makes you believe that people who can't compete in their homeland will be able to compete here? It is all good and well to subject yourself to this fantasy that all these people are great and wonderful human beings, but if you think about it rationally, it is unlikely that this huge group won't have similar percentages of good and bad as you find selecting the same number of Americans randomly. Don't fool yourself into the belief that we are talking about angels here. Grant's 1-minute main argument. When I look at the group gathered at the American border, what I see is a group of people who have already proven that American laws don't matter. They are willing to break the law if it is easier for them than obeying it. Since they have already proven that they will do it once, then what reason is there to believe that entrance into the United States would suddenly change the fact that they find breaking the law acceptable? Our prison system is overcrowded and a huge burden. People with this trait seem likely to land in that system. On top of the fact that they are already intent on engaging in criminal activity, they haven't bothered to learn the language. They aren't currently capable of being brought into society. They have already overrun 3 states and pushed them to a point where the capacity is overwhelming. Why should we be burning ourselves bringing in the dregs of other people's societies when the dregs of our own society are more than we can handle? I haven't heard anything yet that suggests to me that there is a reason that automatically giving these people 2-year trial citizenships wouldn't just add to the number of dregs in our society. Alright, Jay's 1-minute rebuttal to Grant's main argument. When your life is on the line, there is not a single American who wouldn't feel comfortable breaking the law to save their own skin, especially if the law that they were breaking was as harmless as crossing an imaginary line on a map. You are missing how much these people value the idea of being an American citizen. As for language and other skills necessary to assimilate into this country, modern technology like computers and internet means that it is cheap and easy to impart the necessary skills in far less than a couple of years. Online learning has come really far and computers are cheap. We already have the buildings necessary and we call them libraries. If after 2 years they have not garnered the skill set required, then we can send them packing. I agree with you that it is unacceptable that they have overrun 3 states, but whose fault is that? It is the federal government's fault for treating the issue as a problem for the individual states and not facing the problem as a country. The federal government is starting to realize that this is a national problem, and with that knowledge, we will soon be capable of distributing the load. This will correct these states' problems. All right. And now we're at Jay's 1-minute closing argument. It is time we face the truth, that we pretend to have morality until morality gets too difficult. The moral thing to do is to allow these individuals a shot, because their decision and the journey that they subjected themselves to desperately proves that they have earned the chance to be a part of America. I'm not suggesting that they earned citizenship, but they have earned the chance to earn citizenship. We still have to see if they are capable of learning the skills necessary to assimilate into society. But that is what the 2 years are for. Plus, there is one quality about America that has always been true and still is. Once we take on a task, then we wind up becoming insanely efficient at it. We learn from the bumps in the road, and we learn to either avoid or overcome those bumps. I have no reason to believe that we will suddenly lose this ability to become insanely efficient at processing people that come to our borders if we were to start processing the people at our southern border. It will be difficult the first time, but after we do it once, then we will never be troubled by it again, because we will have all the know-how for the rest of perpetuity. All right, Grant's 1-minute closing argument. I agree it is time to face the truth. The real reason that some leaders have chosen a course of demonizing the people at the border is because they don't think voters are mature enough to accept the real answer for not giving the people access. The real reason for not giving these people entrance into America is because America isn't an all-powerful being. It has limitations, and currently these people's entrance would exceed America's limitations. The reason you are witnessing the demonization of these people is that the leaders of this country believe the voter will fire the government if they just say to these people, "Sorry guys who want entrance into America, we are not strong enough to handle the load." I wish we lived in an environment where we didn't demonize people, but whether we demonize them or not, we just can't handle the load. We are already struggling with the load that we currently have. We cannot let these people in due to self-preservation.